The truth is, if you started a business or you're already running a business and it is not going well and thriving how you want to, more than likely it is your inner child running the show. And I know that stings, but we're going to dive into it. But I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of what I've learned so far of being an entrepreneur, dealing with my own mindset, and what you can do to better your own. And so what I'm about to share with you guys is that little piece of the puzzle that I think that you've been looking for, and I am so excited to share it with you guys. And one of the things that no one really talks about is how in business, it is almost like a relationship to a mirror. Okay, it's like looking in a mirror of your own unhealed wounds and looking back on yourself. So when you're able to have a business, it is, yes, depending on you and also the people that you're around, but it also depends on what you think about yourself and also the business that you started, whether that be, more than likely it is a passion project if you started a business, and how you can utilize those wounds that you have already, or in order to learn from that and to get your business to a state where as though you feel as though it is thriving. And the truth is about myself, and this is one of the things that I personally learned the hard way. So let me guys tell you more about. So about 3 years ago, I was, someone who's still suffering from self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is quite possibly one of the most annoying things because it is a defense mechanism that your body naturally has, whereas though your body and your mind wants to protect you from things that it perceives as threats. And believe it or not, when you start a business, 9 times out of 10, your body's going to perceive that as a threat. It's definitely goes against the grain of our society to have, your own business, especially in this day and age. But understanding that when you start a business and you take that road to become an entrepreneur, to work for yourself and to go into a business for yourself, you also actually wind up working for yourself and you have to become your own manager. And the truth is, a lot of times when I'm working with clients, one-on-one coaching, or I'm also working with myself, I see so many of them get close to breakthroughs, huge breakthroughs that can, lead something great. And then something happens, they start losing momentum. They stop posting, whatever it is for themselves. They also find themselves in a state where as though there's like guilt or wanting to get started but not taking action. And the truth is, you can come up with so many strategies and you could come up with a bunch of excuses and you can strategize until you're blue in the face. But the truth is that the main thing that we really needed to take into account, that you need to take into, one of the main things that has to be taken into account is sustainability and the funnels and the systems that you have in place as a business owner. The truth is, you don't need more systems, you don't need any more funnels, you don't need any more storytelling, you don't need any more copywriting, you don't need to do any more busy work. You just need to understand the trap of being in a state of busy work and dealing and overcoming with self-sabotage. And that also lies in the inner child. In a previous video, I also talked about inner child and how important your own personal inner child is to building a business and a life that matters and that is fulfilling for you. Having that inner child being happy is one of the things that is super underrated in our society or in entrepreneurship in general. Why is inner child work so underrated? Is because we are so disconnected from our inner child a lot of the time. And one of the reasons why I see so many people, whether I'm working with them one-on-one or just seeing them on social media or in person, is that they always try to stuff down their inner child, especially in a corporate space. No, we can't play. You see a hopscotch, someone put like hopscotch on a sidewalk, you walk past it, you walk over it, and it's like your inner child is like almost screaming for, some ice cream or their needs to be met. And when you have those unmet needs, it makes it a lot more difficult for you to also achieve your goals. And it was in my own inner child that was afraid. Having fear and having certain things in your inner child, being afraid of being seen is one of them that is so big, or being rejected, or feeling like you're less than. And why is the inner child so prevalent in us, as even in our adult life? Because that is what forms us and also shapes us. And when we are a child, it's innately for us to want to be accepted, to be, drawn into our communities and our families in order for us to, that's a genetic code. Whereas though you always as a child want to be accepted by the people who are around you, because of the fact that if you weren't accepted as a child, you wouldn't have survived your childhood. And so that innately wanting to be accepted, wanting to feel it, and looking for closeness and longing, that is one of the things that can either be fulfilled in your childhood or weren't fulfilled. And when they aren't fulfilled, you either don't know how to talk about the needs that you have, or some people just wind up suppressing those needs. And the truth is, you can't be not enough and too much at the same time. And so the breakthrough that I personally had was realizing that my business plan and my business itself and growth journey was no different from my own. It was quite literally a part of a healing journey. Your business can also be a part of your healing journey, especially if you decide to start a coaching business or a service-based business. And the moment that I stopped really asking or trying to change my business, trying to fix everything, was when I realized one of the things that you will probably stop doing after you realize that, hey, I don't need to change anything else. I don't need to do more busy work and to have more productivity days. What I need is to take a step back. And once you take that step back and you realize that, asking the right questions of like, what is this situation trying to teach me? What can I learn from this situation? Or what can I learn from myself in this moment? And honestly, the answers that I came up with for myself were like very, very difficult lessons of my own personal journey of having to understand that, hey, your prices are fine. Your prices are probably the best out there. There's nothing wrong with your offer. If anything, you probably need to make more of those offers. And the truth is that your inner child can sometimes make it feel like, I have to lower my prices because, what if this person doesn't think that this is worth it or not? Hey, 9 times out of 10, that person who you're doing a discount for, that you're trying to negotiate with for them to have lower rates, more than likely, they're not going to be your ideal customer. They're going to be that customer and that client who's going to be super, underneath you, wanting to know everything that is going on, and it won't be a good experience because of the fact and honestly, a lot of the times when I see my clients is understanding that they have their own patterns. We all have patterns, whether it be you dealing with a product, whether it is you're dealing with a product launch failure, you're not attracting the clients that you want, maybe you are just dealing with client difficulties over the time. That can be a part of your own wound attachment system, whereas though you're not feeling worthy, you're dealing with, the subconscious era. And the real question and the real answer is, how do I stop fixing everything and focus on the fact that, this system may not be working? And understanding that pattern is literally understanding that no other entrepreneur out there who has been an entrepreneur on the face of this planet has not dealt with anything differently than you have in this moment. Honestly, treating yourself and your business like it's an act of healing, is quite possibly one of the best ways of getting out of that. So let me guys show you the exact framework of what I took personally to overcome these wounds up. So let me walk you through a quick routine of what you can do to help you to become more present in your business, to become more of the entrepreneur that you wish that you could be, and to really get into it. So one of the ways that I really identify with the framework of showing up is by literally understanding that your business is quite literally a mirror to whatever it is going on within you currently in this moment, or you've gone through in the past. So understanding your own business is very, is one of the things that's, as long as you understand your own business, where you're currently at, and you understand everything, you've done the research, you've put in the work, just ask yourself, a couple of these questions. Where do you consistently self-sabotage? Self-sabotage is something that is pretty normal, especially in today's world. And so many people deal with it. Imposter syndrome is definitely a part of that. And it takes, a little bit more time. But that doesn't mean that every single delay is a denial. Understanding the opportunities also that you run from. Why are you running from these opportunities when they are trying to find you, girl? And where do you undervalue yourself in your business? There is this book by Rachel Rogers. I think that's her name. It's called "We Should All Be Millionaires," and it constantly talks about, running a business and why so many entrepreneurs, especially female entrepreneurs, feel the need to undercharge themselves and undersell themselves and not make as many offers. And the truth is, us as women, and even to the male entrepreneurs watching this video out there, shout out to you guys, we cannot afford to be undercharging ourselves. We cannot be afford to brushing off our natural talents. We can't afford this. So understanding the aspects of your business that feels most triggering is going to give you a leg up. And really, guys, take into account these prompts that I'm giving you. Pause the video, write them down, and share your results at the end of what you've learned about yourself so far. And for me personally, of dealing with, things like visibility, or to be dealing with asking for the offer, for the money, that was my problem. And that was one of my biggest triggers and things that I had to personally overcome. And I'm still overcoming each day because of the fact that, I have had people ask for discounts and things like that. And it's like, no, your price is your price for a reason. And just understand that every single business has an emotional root. Commonly, like, you always see the person who's constantly undercharging themselves, always trying to, discount the price before the person even says yes. Have you met someone like that? Are you that person? And it's like, it stems from, worth wounds. Working on your self-worth while you're working on building a business, while you're working on, working on your career, whatever it is going to give you the biggest lessons and hopefully blessings too. And just understanding that also there's like 5 types of ways that you wind up self-sabotaging, and these are the most part. It's the inconsistent creator. So the inconsistent creator is that girl out there who is great at social media probably. She does post sporadically, but she doesn't follow through. So that's one of them. Then you have the over-deliverer, who is someone who says that, oh, I can do so many things. Yes, I'm going to do your social media for you. I'm also going to do your branding, and we can even consult on this, and I'm going to build your website for you. And then, a couple weeks go by, and the project started, but nothing is delivered. Okay? That is also a form of self-sabotaging, of putting and spreading yourself thin to the point where as though, well, there's not much left to spread. And that's also leads us into the next one, which is the invisible entrepreneur, who is that girl out there who likes to say that she's an entrepreneur and really dealing with the shame of, if people see me, it isn't safe. Having those safety wounds and having those types of ways of dealing and coping with the fear of being seen also shows up a lot as moving with invisibility, being afraid to post and whatnot. And so this also leads me into the next point of understanding your own triggers and really working through them. So there's so many ways that you guys out there who are watching can help yourself to become better. I'm also going to say that, exercise and fitness is one thing. Having those lifestyle changes that you live a life where it's fulfilling. Exercise is so good for you if you're able to go to the gym or even get a gym membership. Doing yoga's free. Doing exercises and fitness and activities outside, super important, especially for the summertime. Please, guys, take care of yourself. Next one I will say to help you to overcome these things is definitely going to be therapy, and journaling. One of the ways that you can find a therapist is by making sure that you're reaching out and Also knowing that it does take a while to find someone who can help you to move through your issues. And in the meantime, if you cannot afford a therapist, there are also free resources out there, along with YouTube, which is like not, probably the worst way to look for a therapist, but it does work if you are underserved. And this is why one of the reasons why I find so many entrepreneurs coddling this wound, because of the fact that they cannot get to the root issue of the symptom, of the wound, of the thing. And the truth is, the body does keep score. That book is amazing. I have not read it yet, but it is true. The body keeps count of the things that happen to us throughout our lives, and it is stored in the body, in our subconscious, in ways where as though no one can really get to unless you make a tentative effort while you are awake to change. And so the one thing that your business does need is a parent. You need to reparent the business, and reparenting your business means taking those actions, making sure that you're taking steps to help the business. It's creating safe, consistent actions that don't feel as though they're going to burn you out right away. Having that safety in your business is super important to build into building a life that you want for yourself. Validating yourself, having validation from your employees, from the people that you're working with, your mentors. These really help to build you up, as opposed to just building a project solo, which does happen from time to time. But building a business from the ground up definitely is going to take support. Giving yourself that permission to just be. I was at a conference a few weeks, like a year or two ago, and it was talking about, challenges that female entrepreneurs have. And specifically this woman who was working in the AI space, started a beautiful company. And she said that, when you're having those moments, to just, feel your feelings, cry if you need to, get into bed, but get up, get up and keep going and keep moving. And that was one of the things that kind of stuck to me, and it still sticks to me today because it is so true. And so seeing every single business challenge as an opportunity to heal is one of the best ways of looking at things from a different perspective. And when you have that new perspective, that fresh perspective, those opportunities have a better chance of getting in if your business hasn't been thriving in the past. So if launching feels scary, if looking for funding looks terrifying, if being in a room with, other people who are doing better than you is scary, then definitely taking the time to put in the work. And so if you guys are really realizing all of this, and any of this that I'm saying is resonating with you guys, make sure that you're also checking out my ebook, which has just launched, which I'm super excited about. It's actually free, so you can actually pay as much as you wish or don't wish, or free. But yes, it's going to be free forever. And then also I'm coming out with some more guides for you guys. Not really courses, I call them guides because they are guides. To help you guys navigate entrepreneurship. As a younger entrepreneur, I feel like it is my duty to share the things that I've done, because of the fact that I've been in the rooms, I've been in the situations, I've done the work, and I can't wait to share more with you guys on this channel. Definitely check out my links to my ebook. I created an ebook specifically for the soft life entrepreneur. So if you want to live a soft life, as you should, and be a soft life entrepreneur, and to not burn out as quickly working, especially as neurodivergents. If you guys also are dealing with things like ADHD, autism, like, girl, you need to try to look at this ebook. Just check it out, and let me know what you guys took from this video. If anything resonated, please also comment, you guys, what are you guys dealing with as someone who is either started a business, wants to start a business, below. And if you're also sharing with like business blogs, also please share it with your friends. And remember your business is not broken. You are not broken. You are not wrong. Just the systems, the wounds, they might be present, but they can be worked on, affirmed the heck out, and healed over time. And just being ready, just clicking on this video means that you're already ready to heal and to do the work, and that is powerful in itself. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will definitely see you in the next one. And thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.